It is time for our monthly wine out. It is end of June. We are doing prophecy, and we brought guests. Y'all know how we do this thing. So,
hashtag grab prophecy.
That's
outside
wondering
language.
what this gang sign said. Okay. So grab a glass of your favorite red, white, rosé, Moscato, red blend, white blend, sparkling water, tapioca. I don't know. Just grab something. Maybe they might be hungry. We got food, so they might be hungry. Okay. And join us. Oh, it's got diamonds in it. I was gonna say why this. No. I was looking at Marshalls, but no. That would be a little. I get why I got this one because I was like, this looks more. But I didn't look at the box. Anyway, we are here.
Wow.
We are here. If you are listening to this, it's probably like June 1st because first Wednesday is when this airs on podcast platforms. But come join us live every fourth Saturday, last Saturday, usually fourth Saturday, but last Saturday of the month. On the couch. That's what I got. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I feel like I just rubbed off on the long
It's been
intro,
right. There was
intro.
digressions.
We've been through a lot. It's okay.
That was the
But
most
we figuring things
Michelle
out.
intro that I've ever done, y'all. I'm usually concise to the point. I have my script down now.
Yeah. Yep. It's okay. I'm rubbing off on it, y'all. I'm rubbing off.
Let me see your phone so I can,
Oh, see the people?
so I can see the
Oh, yeah. Mine's just back here.
Hey, Shay. Hello.
Yeah. So, hey y'all. We're here. We are here. We have made it.
We made it.
We can take a deep breath. We started on time. And
Cheers
for
to
the
that.
second month in a row, because last month we were on time
We
too.
were on time.
So, and we
Chaos
not
behind
that.
the scenes, but
Everything's always chaos behind the scenes. Those who are thinking about being content creators, think about it first. Yes.
Please do.
It's definitely fun, but think
It's
about it
work.
first.
It's a lot of work.
It's a whole
A lot of work.
So hashtag Grab a Prophecy month of June has come to a close. So as you can see on our wonderful table, we have the line, not the full line,
no.
but the line of prophecy.
There's probably about half of them though.
Yeah, until you start getting into years and
Right.
all of that. But yeah, I think we're only missing like maybe two.
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And not that many, but overall prophecy has been a good month for us. So I'm excited to taste what she has tasted this past month, as well as what I have tasted again this past month. And we have our wonderful guest. Not new to the podcast, label friend Z Cameraman. Ficky DJ.
He's done a lot.
A whole lot. He's just here. He's our
Present.
Where's your phone?
Right there.
I need it for the time.
He's our handyman. That's who he
Mr.
is.
Fix-It.
Mr. Fix-It.
And to our new
And-
companion, would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Oh, I'm Dave, also known as DET, host of the DET show. You can catch me everywhere, Apple, Google, Deezer, wherever you want to listen to it. We talk a lot of sports, but we've been getting into a lot of other things lately, like Title IX and this whole Roe versus Wade thing. So we're kind of, we branch out, but we mainly talk about sports. So if you're looking for a good sports podcast to listen to, check me out at the DET show. I'm usually on Twitter, but you can also find videos of me and my co-host D Money. Shout out to D Money on Facebook under the DET show.
We'll put links, y'all.
Yeah.
I will put links.
Yeah, links in the description boxes and all of that good stuff. Tags, hashtags, ats. So you all can see what everyone else is doing. So if you're new here, this is how the wine out goes. Mm-hmm. For each wine we taste, we ask a question. I'm going to get a box. Our handy dandy bowl.
I mean, you just supposed to.
Our handy dandy bowl, we ask, it's random. It's random. Everything from the rooter to the tutor. So for every wine, there's a question. After the question, we rate the wine. We have our faithful and loyal dump bucket. If it's something that you don't really care for, you just dump it out. You're not forced to drink anything here. And of course, we have H2O on hand at all times. So,
First wine,
first wine, first question. and we're gonna let our new guest do the honors of picking the wine.
Oh, yes.
Dum, dum, dum.
We'll just start right off in front.
Oh, right. And you can let us.
Prophecy Rosé Vin de France.
And les boyfriends.
2020.
Okay.
And les boyfriends is going to pick the question.
Okay.
Oh, this is shit. Okay, here we go.
All right. How many people do you think from your high school would be surprised by your body count?
I don't even know where that question came from.
Okay, that was
Okay.
different.
That's not where I thought that was going.
How many people from my high school would be surprised at my body count?
That's simple for me. I didn't really talk to anybody in high school, so
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would have thought anything. I'm not surprised with mine. It's not high, so I don't know.
I don't really know because the people that I kept up with from high school, it wasn't that many, and I don't really think they would care. So
That's the question. Why would it?
the only
why would
one
anybody
that
care?
opinion would probably matter knows me, so I don't really think I don't know how to answer this question. I don't think they would care.
Well, I think that's most of our adult answers. Yeah, I don't think they really care.
I don't see anybody say good for you.
You know, like, oh, you are a virgin all through high school. I almost made it, but now wait. So being as though I just had my high school reunion for 20 years, yes, I am that young. Going to my high school reunion reminded me of how many people I actually like really associated with in my class. Because before I was like, okay, I'll go, but I was like, it's only gonna be like 5 people there that I would really be like, oh, my homie. But when I got there, it was so many more people. I was like, oh wait, I really like new people. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, like friendships, like when I started seeing people who I don't see on Facebook, I don't see on Instagram, like we're not friends. So when on social media, so when I saw them, it was like, we used to be so close. Oh my goodness. So with that just happening not too long ago, and putting it to this question, I don't think they would be really surprised at my body count. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really be counting bodies. It's not that many to count, but I don't be counting bodies either.
Sitting up here having I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. You the host.
I mean, I'm also
but you are
married 7
It's okay,
years
my
now, almost. Wait, 7. I'm 20. I'm 37.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I'm married 7 years. Yep. I'm gonna be honest. Probably forgot a couple bodies.
I haven't.
I'ma just be honest.
I haven't either.
Look, I'm not saying I was out there like slanging it, woo, legs wide open.
See,
But it might have been a one night stand or two. I'll be like, we did that.
You sure?
I don't recall.
you don't remember that?
Prove
cold,
it, right.
Remember that cold night on the side of the road?
Nope.
And
I don't.
Blah blah.
Yeah, so yeah, but ultimately it's even with that, it's still not a lot. So it's like I don't think they would be surprised. Maybe like my closer middle friends might be more surprised than just the general population of the high school people. But I know when I got married to my husband, that was a shock to everybody, even to me.
Would your people be surprised, Dave? Because you've been cutting in the corner.
I didn't really associate with too many people. Just like you said in high school, especially when I got to my senior year, I only hung out with Brian and like a close
The cluster.
Right.
Cluster.
Yeah.
Right.
So
If your cluster
now,
from high school knew you the whole time, like
Now-
Ryan to now.
now we're talking high school to church. Oh yeah, church folks, you know.
Okay, now my church family
Yeah.
might. My church family
You're
might be
such a
surprised.
heathen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now my church family might go. Now Michelle, you are a child of God.
Mm.
I don't think it. I'll say this. I don't feel like people walking around. If it's somebody, this is my thing. If it's somebody from high school that you're still friends with now,
Right.
they would have been there.
Yeah.
Right, they
All
would
of
have
these
known.
bodies
Like,
and known more than the body, knowing the situation. Like, I feel like the whole body count thing is just stupid anyway, because let's say somebody's like, oh, if you've been with, let's say 20 people since high school. Well, first of all, how old are you? Like you said, you just had your 20-year reunion. So if that's one person a year, it sounds bad, but it's really not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not. In addition to the fact, like, I feel like as long as your health is good. Hello. And honestly, more than bodies to me is, like, I think people who ask that? Like, how many people have you slept with since high school? I feel like people more ask, do you have any kids? Like, kid count might shock some people.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, especially after high school, you in college, and you know, people be wilding in college. So you don't.
Man, we graduated in '98, man. You became a consumer analyst. How many people have you been with? What? Huh?
Right.
What's your count look like? Like, who asked that question?
Are you my dog? Did I know the gyno? Is this gyno? She what?
And then
ask you body count.
I mean, still, but I would feel like maybe that's
more
where I
appropriate
need right.
And then kind of bouncing off of what you said, so I had my 20-year 2018, and there was one person that was there, and they knew me. I don't remember them at all. Their face, nothing, and they told me specific things that I did, and they were like, I was standing next to you. I'm like, I remember that event, but I don't remember you.
I feel like anybody's gonna be surprised. If you become the neighborhood hoe and people didn't expect that, that's one thing. But even then, some people might be, I'm not surprised that you became. I'm not surprised you became the whore Babylon. That sounds like you. So, okay.
Yeah, then vice versa. If that's what you were in high school, then all of a sudden you're a
holy,
you know,
I'm proud of you.
You're the pastor's wife. You're the first lady of the church. They're like,
that makes sense. First lady.
Some of the first
no.
That was one of the things that I prayed to the Lord, because for the longest time I was either dating a church boy or a PK. And the one thing I said that I didn't want to be was a first lady.
Absolutely not.
I don't my attitude.
That's not goals.
My attitude.
That's not goals.
They gonna be like, yo, first lady ratchet.
Like, and I'm not even really ratchet. I'm more bougie than ratchet. But first lady class, I'm ratchet.
Well, I don't know. That depends on what city you first lady in.
This is true.
That's true.
This depends.
Baltimore.
And that's it. And that's it. And you need to say
Metropolitan.
And you need to say, and that's the nice way to say it. You need to say less.
The Metro Ho.
And on that,
wow.
All right.
we will rate this prophecy, rosé. It's actually all of these have a title to them. Did you know that?
No.
So this is the goddess of fortune. It's
I keep
probably
drinking. I hope I get good for it.
Right.
So it's delicate and bright with layered notes of fresh red fruit, melon, and citrus, leading to a crisp and refreshing finish. So I will say, initially Michelle had this.
I did.
And she gave it a 2.5.
Out of what?
Out of 5. We do 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2.
So
2.5. All the way to 5
increments up to 5. Michelle gave us a 2.5. You stay in there?
I'm gonna go 3. And the only reason why, when I first tasted on, I don't really, like I said, I'm not a big Roseanne fan. Roseanne. I'm not a Roseanne fan either. But rosé fan. But for some reason, this tasted better this time than when I first opened it.
Did you enjoy it cold?
Yeah.
I was gonna give this a 3 as well. Like when I saw your 2.5, and I'm not really a rosé person either. I expected like tart.
Yeah.
Something. So maybe it's mellow,
maybe it's marinated, all that stuff, the chemicals and did something
got
different.
air in the bottle.
Yeah, I don't know, but
it wasn't that long ago we opened this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's slightly different.
I give it a 3.
I can appreciate this. Like this, I can see me really making a nice pink lemonade mimosa type.
That's cool. I can see that lemonade in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it a 3, and I'm not big on rosé. Usually, it tends to be a little on the too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
This one isn't that. This one's
The
not
opposite.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, this is when I'm thinking rosé, I'm thinking sweet as well. Like Moscato d'Asti type of sweet.
Right.
Yeah, that's too
That
much.
was
That's
not,
diabetes.
and I'm
This
not
is-
big on too sweet, but it's not bad.
You know what I think another thing with this is? A lot of rosés have that bubble.
Yes.
Yes.
Carbonation pop. And that may
Even-
be
And I
why
think
it's
it's
not-
settled a little bit more, but even when I first opened it, it didn't have a lot of bubbles.
Okay.
It did not.
Okay.
So what's your rating, Dave?
I give it about a 3. I think we're consensus.
So we're consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent on the 3.
Decent.
Good job,
Which isn't bad for a rosé, because like we're
Yeah,
not
y'all know
rosé
we
drinkers
be-
on this
Yeah.
table. That's pretty good for a rosé. Like
From us.
that's a high ranking on a rosé.
Yeah, I don't think you've had one at
No,
a 3.
most rosés we.
Been like a
Yeah,
2,
two.
2.5. I think one of them got like a 1 or 1.
Oh yeah, it's been a couple.
Yeah.
You know, our fans of rosé.
No.
All right, so
Work, young lady.
second wine, second question,
Dun dun dun.
and
Little boyfriend.
no,
I'm
hold
just
on.
mixing it. I'm mixing it. I'm
Pick
mixing
the
it.
wine.
You
sir.
pick the wine, you get the question.
Let's see. I'm gonna start at this end. We're gonna work our way to the middle. So I'm going with Prophecy the Star. It says Pinot Grigio del Venezi. Is that what it says? Venezi?
Yeah, he's
Venice. It's from
Venice.
Venice. That's how you say Venice.
Yeah, because she
In
knows
Italian,
it, not me.
that's
But
it.
this is what we have. It's Pinot
I'm
Grigio.
gonna say,
I
y'all
got
know
that
she,
point.
he
All right.
clearly was asking.
Oh, I know. Look, I'm
Clearly.
glad you-
Good. I think I
No
look past
offense,
me
no
too.
offense.
I'm not at all. 'Cause he went like this. I went like this. Siobhan, he's talking to you. Cause
Venice here, and it's Venice.
Mm-mm.
That's what that means.
I'm out. That's what I had. That's-
So what is this question?
Okay, yes. Let's read this question.
What is the most romantic thing you've ever done?
Oh, romance. Okay, so like, let's put this. Let's.
Oh, my
this
bad. Look,
one.
That's mine.
Let's put romantic thing you ever done, like you've ever done for someone, or you've ever
Yeah, that's you
done
doing it. You've done for someone.
You've
I wrote
done
the question,
for
so that's my
like
question.
in general.
You've done for someone. It doesn't have to be the person you current with. Think of your life and relationships. What's the most romantic thing you've done?
But for me, it's gonna have to be with the husband because I ain't do no romantic shit with nobody else.
Okay.
I'ma just put that out there. I mean, I got a couple, but I would say the one that's the most memorable was he had a football game. I didn't go. This was like our first year. I didn't go because I had something else I had to do. But when he got home, I had a note on the door telling him to leave his stuff by the door, and I had candles from the door all the way to the bathroom because I had his I had a glass of wine for him, bubble bath, because you know he likes to soak after he plays football. So had that all set up, had this little massage, had candles in the room, and I was in my little cutie stuff and the heels. You know, it was all romantical and stuff.
Your size 9 heels.
10 now.
I was trying to throw her shade. She took a tree and put it on herself.
These big old boats down here. Yeah, I think that's the outside of like a birthday, like you know what I'm saying. Like
Well, okay, so let's definition of romance. 'Cause
I
we
mean,
do this.
like
A feeling of excitement and mystery,
Okay, that don't
mystery
help.
associated with love.
that don't help, cause you know I be like I like surprising him.
Well, then that's a mystery.
You
Because
know?
surprises.
But that's what I'm saying. I like surprising him. So like it can be birthday, Valentine's Day, cause we kind of swap off Valentine's.
But if you feel that's the most romantic, then
I mean, I feel like that's the most romantic.
like unfortunately he's not here. We can't confirm. That's a
I mean,
conversation.
but if we
for
talk
a
about
later date.
me,
Right.
then
Right, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also, but it's two sides to relationships, right?
True.
Or just any relationship. Like, and I'm talking platonic, just in general. Friendship, people.
Nope.
There's your side, and then what's
it's
received.
my side
Right.
and it's my side.
Okay.
And
Okay.
playing.
Or
I'm just playing.
Well, sure it's
I'm
fine.
just playing. I'm playing.
But so again, I just wish he was here because again, you like that's the most romantic. He may be like, nah, there was this time that she.
you did X, Y, and Z. Like you're right.
Because
Before
remember we
me,
had Ron Patrick and their statement
and it was completely
Right.
yeah,
Right.
completely
Yeah.
different on some things.
yeah. And I
Um,
was like, don't get in trouble. But okay, anyone else?
what do y'all fellas?
I think I was in high school, and there was a certain young lady that I was.
Wow, you were
course.
the most romantic in high school.
Yes, and I can admit that.
Okay.
Okay,
I have no problem admitting that. So what happened was, there was a certain young lady that I had a crush on, and I got her every time I walked her home. I bought her a different flower. So she had about 8, 9 different types of flowers, and I studied and made sure. I said, okay, I picked this out the other day. Didn't pick this out. I want to make sure it was special because I wanted to have something that she would remember. So she looked at the flowers. Like, okay, cool. Like, took me home 10 times. Got 10 different flowers.
But
Good impressed to you. High five on that. That's so cute. I like
fuck that. But did you get the cheeks? I'm just kidding.
He got the legs when she walked home.
Yeah, that's right. I watched her legs walk home.
He got to watch the legs walk
And
home.
did you at least hit the
Okay,
I
did
sure
you
did,
get
but I'm
a
going to
kiss?
raise my glass like
Did you get a kiss? Where's the payoff? Okay? I'm just kidding. I'm all funny games.
there really was no
No, did you?
One could call
did you
that
jump off to me?
simping, but then I just thought about
But see, that's the issue. Like we got a whole rant about simping, and I don't consider that simping. That's you showing your intentions.
Yeah. Being intentional in any type of relationship or courting is a must. And in this stupid world of today with these dumbtail people out here just spitting foolishness out in the air just because anybody will listen to them, are teaching, unfortunately, the younger generation who don't have people to come back behind them and combat that foolishness, the wrong things. You know, it's nothing wrong. Right, it's nothing wrong with being courted. It's nothing wrong with being submissive. It's nothing wrong with these things. You just have to do it in a wise manner for the right person, for the right reasons. That is what needs to be taught. Yes, do we understand that relationships and situations and, you know, certain nuances may change different things? Absolutely. But in overall, when dealing with a romantic relationship, there should be some type of intention behind it.
Right. If you're courting somebody on that level, then you wanted something. Whether you went there or not, and she got the message. Because that's what a lot of women.
My intentions were to ask her to prom, and I succeeded.
Oh, well, see?
But
But she said yay or nay.
She said yay, but I'm not going to talk about what happened.
Afterwards.
But your intention to go to prom
Yes.
was clear, and you got the desired result.
That's
Right.
correct.
Now, what happened after that is
It's
a whole nother
but-
thing. There you go.
But yeah.
So, the boyfriend.
Y'all are
was-
just staring at me.
Ah,
I feel flames and freezing ice all at the
Well,
same
I'll take it
time.
off. I'll take it off.
No, I got it.
I'll say mine.
No, I got it. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Because I want to hear this.
The most romantic moment that I set up for got burned. It got burned by somebody else.
Oh, December.
I planned for that for 6 months.
Dang,
And it got burned by one person. I dumped finances into it and timing, and it got burned by one person. And it wasn't the person that was intended for the romantic moment. One thing that I realized from that is, no matter how perfectly things are planned, all it takes is one moment. And my second moment was December, and it ended up becoming the karaoke weekend because I had planned for that for a while. And I realized that no matter how hard you plan, everything has to fall in place. So as of right now, my most romantic moment is still in my back pocket.
Okay.
And I cannot speak on it at this moment. I
It's a
refuse.
secret.
And that's all that I can say about that.
Tell me.
I keep secrets.
Huh?
I keep secrets. It's okay. We're gonna talk.
I believe you. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
So, mine.
Oh wait, that episode ain't come out yet. You gotta watch the episode that's coming out this week. I sent you a message.
Oh, I heard about the message. I just don't know the place. I heard about the
It's
message.
in the beginning early.
Yeah.
To the point of timing, I got lucky that my timing for my most romantic situation.
Oh, she gets the baby voice. She's so happy.
I am happy because it was supposed to rain.
Oh,
It was supposed to rain.
And it did. And see, the Lord was on your
He
side.
was. Let me tell you, on my side, it was in Southern Maryland too, down by where we did the lineup. It was supposed to rain. We literally drove through mist and dark skies and clouds, and I was like, "Yo,
Father, Lord Jesus,
Father."
Jesus,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
was like, I done tried. I done set this thing up for 3 months. So it was for a birthday. It was for that guy over there.
That was for me.
I wish I had known.
No, this was. I'm
No,
gonna tell
this
you
was
right now.
it. So what it was, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my thing of Roman. I do things in parts. So it was a big milestone birthday for him. I'm not gonna say how old he is. He old.
80.
Divided by 2 times 5 minus 4, carry the 1. He
Put me there, John.
it was his birthday, and so I did 2 weekends, and I did 1 week intentionally. The first was because he didn't have kids. So I did a grown folks weekend. We did Dave and Buster's. We did Climb Zone.
Oh.
We did, that's why I asked you about Climb Zone.
Yes.
We did Climb Zone. We did Dave and Buster's. We did mini golf, which is our thing. We do different mini golfs. It's
a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
They know. He's been there.
He's been to one of them. It's a thing.
Okay, Mom.
The second weekend, I knew he was going to have the kids, and so I planned to get all of his kids together. Now, while this may not sound like a task, y'all, it was a task. 3 of them live with us, as y'all may know. The boys we talk about, they live with us, but he also has 2 girls that live in VA. Now, that took some maneuvering. One with one personally, and the other with her mother. And shout out to her. I just want to say that we can coexist, ladies. Okay,
Yes.
It doesn't have to be all that hate-filled, bitter baby mama crap. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Because the photographer that came out was the best friend of his second baby mama. He got a lot of baby mamas. He was a hoe. He was a hoe after high school, y'all.
Once upon a time, not long ago, he was a hoe. And he admitted Ned. Okay, I'm done.
Wow.
Wow. So to that though, so I got all his kids together for a photo shoot, and that was, I didn't know if it was gonna rain, and I was like texting one of his his second baby mama. I like her. She'd be cool. I was texting her, freaking out because she got me the photographer. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna rain. I can't run. But then it actually wound up being a really nice day.
Okay.
And after the photo shoot, we went down to VA with his family, and we did his whole family. And it wound up being bigger than I intended because he had a tragedy happen that week, like on his actual birthday. And his sister and I had planned this cookout for y'all. His birthday's in April. We were planning this thing since like February. When I went home to New York in February, I said, "Good, he ain't around. He can't hear me. I'm loud on the phone. I'm loud in general." So I was like, cool, I can be as loud as I want to be with his sister. He ain't gonna know nothing anyway, because unless he can hear me all the way in Maryland from New York, I'm not that loud. So we had planned this whole thing, and literally the tragedy happened on like Monday, I think was his birthday. Monday or Tuesday, it was Monday. And she was like, are we still doing this on Saturday? And I was like, I'm gonna get back to you. And I made the decision late Monday, early Tuesday. Yep, we're going forward. We gonna do this cookout. We gonna pray to the Lord about it. It was supposed to rain. God showed favor to, I don't even think God showed favor to me. I think God showed favor to him because it was his day. And everything turned out beautiful except when I went to the wrong house the first time. This is why, I almost called you from the back seat of my own car.
Oh Lord.
I was so mad.
Y'all
Well,
wanna see
the
somebody
passenger
mad?
seat of my own car.
Let
I
her
was
piss herself
so
off.
mad that I let him drive my car.
Oh,
I got out the car. I said, "You know how to get your stuff in here?" He's like, "Yes."
Right.
You drive. I got out the car.
When in my hometown, she asked me if I knew how to get to my sister's
I
house.
realized after asking that was probably for the question.
But
But
everything up
it
here
was
was
the
like,
moment. It
shut
was
up.
the moment. It was the
Shut
moment.
up.
Say nothing.
Just say yes.
So he
Just
said
say
yes. I got out the car. I walked around the back. I closed the door. I literally almost pulled him out the passenger seat, and he got in my car and was like, quiet.
Right.
And I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I literally was like, I'm gonna call Michelle right now because I'm so mad. She's not gonna believe that I let somebody drive her car.
Right.
Okay.
Y'all, that's a sacred vehicle.
When she asked me if I knew how to get to my sister's, like I said, everything said shut up and just say yes. I said yes. She said drive. Everybody was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Just get over in the driver's seat
Don't say
and
nothing.
drive.
Just-
Because nobody drives
this-
your car.
Don't nobody drive
She's
Shadow.
there.
Shadow is my car, y'all.
She's
Nobody
at a
drives
whole
Shadow.
new level of festivity. Yes, I said festivity. She's at a whole new level of it.
Yes.
I didn't know what to do.
Well, you did right.
But it was great.
And I'm glad that you.
So
had
that
a
was
good
my
time.
most romantic moment.
Mine too, as far as
I also
receiving.
gave him 3 cards.
Wow.
Like I gave him
Cards
That's
with
a
a
lot.
DS.
Yeah,
not
like I gave him
all of that.
one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday.
Yes.
The
she
first
made an event
weekend.
out of it.
Me and my husband have a thing about cards. Like we be like, he finds like the best cards. So I be like trying, but at the same time, I be like,
I just
ain't
want you
nobody gonna do nothing with this but put it in the backside of the car seat or something like that. Like for real, like it's going in the trash. So do I care? No, but I'm not gonna let you outdo me. So yes, I'm about to go spend $10 on this piece of cardboard that I know because I'm not about to write nothing. Cause at the end of it, my signature be like, wifey.
Well, I saw you sign the card that we gave
You
them
see what
for
I'm
the anniversary. It was real dry.
Right.
I'm not that person. I'm
a
not that
cards
person.
I will say this.
I'm a cards person.
If the card says it all I need to do is sign it.
I don't know many people that are card people.
I am.
I
I have
am one. I am one for whatever I receive because I don't expect anything. So if I receive a card, I cherish it. A letter, I cherish it. A car, I cherish it. Transformers. If anybody knows me, y'all know I like Transformers. If I receive one, I will cherish it. It probably will never ever get opened or played with, but I
That's part of
appreciate it.
cherishing it.
If it is a pack
Don't
of
touch my
gum, I will cherish it. That's
Oh,
on the
sure,
low
sure,
end,
right
but
through
you know what? We
COVID.
went through COVID and some people don't have money. I will cherish it. I promise you. I don't really have specifics because I'm not used to being given things. So I cherish what I receive.
Okay, so what is our rating on the
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot
I had it,
Grigio?
and I gave it a 4. I'm gonna have to drop that down
Oh, really?
to a 3.5.
Okay.
Over time,
Yeah.
this is great, but if you get this, then you got 2 weeks to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been like 3 now. Because I think this was like the first one I had in a month, and no, like it's truly a white, and whites are not meant to last that long.
Yeah.
So I would give it like a 3.5 in the long term. I'm gonna leave my 4 because that was the initial. I will say don't leave it. Drink it in a week.
Gotcha. Okay. Dave.
Me and Pinot don't really rock too well.
Understand?
Oh.
Again, I'm like a sweet guy. That's a little bit for me. But I mean, it did have notes towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
so I give it about 2.5.
You want to get the bottom so I
Two
can
and a
read the thing. Speaking of the
Up
notes,
2.5. Okay, and you?
this says notes of light citrus, tropical fruit, and minerals offer crisp refreshment, complemented by delicate floral aromas. Just want to make sure we all,
I was going to give it a 2,
Wait, what'd you?
2.5.
but my last taste, I give it a 2.5. I did like the notes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of Pinot Grigio. I haven't been a big fan of Pinot Grigio, and this is not the best one that I've tasted. But it was some interesting flavors at the end, so I give it a 2.5.
I'm gonna give this a 4.
Hey.
I love Pinot Grigio. Riesling, Pinot Grigio are probably my favorite white. Well, Chardonnay is the absolute favorite white, but those two like are neck and neck. My number 2s. It's just good.
So, and moving on, third question. I mean, we moving.
We
though.
moving
gotta
along.
move.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick one, so you pick the one.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the Chardonnay. Of course.
And the balls have fun.
I'm gonna pick from the bottom.
Don't.
I ain't judging if it's a good wine. You drink it.
So the question is, oh, this is mine too. Hey. How do you feel about long distance dating?
Long distance dating?
I'll start.
It's enough.
I will say this.
Dating, relationships, however you want to say it, long distance.
It depends on the circumstances and how strong the relationship is. If this feels like it's one of the best relationships that I've had, then I will put forth that 110% effort to see what it becomes. And I only say that because we may get to a point where you start to travel overseas. And this is a really strong relationship. So I can't just cancel it out and be like, oh, you going where? Germany? You going where? Brazil? Oh, okay, well, we're not going to work out.
He might not work it out if it's Brazil.
If she goes to Brazil, I will be available. I will. Because I feel like she may not come back, guys. She really wants to go to Brazil.
I fit in suitcases, so I'm just saying, I'm coming with you. That's how that go.
You want to pay for the carry-on?
Yeah,
because I was about to say,
fragile.
You know they.
I take that part. Put fragile on it.
How you flying?
I was about to say it may be cheaper to just get a ticket because they charge by the pound.
By the pound.
And it's like
I can get skinny fit church. I'm coming back.
even if you're skinny and they charge $20 a pound, let's say you're 100, that's $2,000. Cheaper to get a ticket. I just want to say.
I got the bag. It's her bag.
It's cheaper to get. Might want to just buy her a ticket.
They sell me that. They can't. What the price is? I say real loud. Leave the bag right here.
And take that thing off.
Leave the bag right here. Never right.
I'm good.
Don't you worry
But
about
again, it depends on the relationship, the distance, and time. How long are you going to be in this location? Because if you're like in Chicago, I can fly up there like every other week or once a month at least. If you're in Japan, that's a one-time 6-month payoff. That just, I don't know. I don't know how well that would work, but
Yeah,
I'd make the attempt.
The answer for me is hell no. I fit in suitcases. If you going, I'm going. Period. And because in all honesty,
You don't trust nobody.
no, it's not even that.
Okay.
I'm spoiled.
Okay.
Period. So when I want you here, I want you here. I don't want no ifs, ands, questions. Oh, I can't. No. Now, if I don't want you here, I don't care. Then you might want to worry. So, but
If I don't want you here,
then I don't care.
I don't care if you go distance.
Right. I don't care. But if we in a relationship, oh nigga, we going. Let's go. Pack your bag. Let's track this shit up. Let's go. You know, I can find another job. Come on. Let me see if my job transfer. That I'm clingy.
I guess for me, it depends on something. I've had distance relationships. The first one I had in college, I was in Philly. He was in Harlem. I mean, it's not like huge, but that's a good.
Good
And
job.
because he refused to take the 2-hour Chinatown bus, it became like a 3.5-hour situation. Not for me. I was gonna get my nice little tail in that Chinatown for 2 hours. I wasn't playing the game. But the New York City and him was like, no, I gotta take the train. So
Oh,
he
God.
took MTA to New Jersey Transit
Oh no.
to
That's
SEPTA. And that's why I was 3.5 hours. And I literally said, babe, you could just take the bus. And he said, no, I don't. Nah, I take the train. It's an extra hour and a half to take the train. I know, but I'm good.
I would just
God,
drove.
you sound
You're
like
probably,
Erica.
huh?
I would've drove.
God, you sound like Erica right now.
Like my dude.
Look, I would have drove. I would have rented a
He didn't
vehicle
have a
and
car.
drove.
Oh, well, he had a
Yeah.
car. And it
If I
sucks
didn't
to
have
rent a
one-
car in New York, though. Like
This
where
is
he
true.
was.
This is true.
Like he was in New York City. Like he was in
Oh,
Harlem.
yeah,
He
nah,
wasn't
you
doing
wouldn't
right.
get
He.
one.
This is what I'm
Wouldn't
saying.
get
He
one.
was a true Harlemite. He was trains all day. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I would have gotten to Jersey and rented something. I'd be like, okay, I'm over on Jersey side. There's plenty of places to rent.
Well,
over
I
there.
will also say there was no parking on Temple University's campus.
Oh, okay.
So right. So I would
Right
just
with
go.
somebody.
I would just go get like it happened. But what that showed me actually was if you're really invested, y'all both will make the attempt.
Yep.
Our conversations were largely on the phone, but also I'm a sapiosexual, so communication is really what I need. I don't necessarily need to see you like that, and especially honestly, this was in 2000, right? So this was before like the FaceTime and yeah, I'm not gonna date myself too much. This was before FaceTime and all that. Honestly, at this point to me, there isn't as much of an excuse. We were completely doing this over the phone, like and at the time we did this, we ran $300 phone bills up because this was when it's free after 9. We were talking before 9.
Oh man.
There were so many more restrictions when we did this long distance than now that to me there really shouldn't be an excuse that we can't make it work if we both want to be here.
Shout out to the unlimited phone companies. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I don't know who pushed that forward, but somebody led the way.
Thank you.
The same people that sent me a
Nextel, they were the first one.
It was Nextel because everybody was blooping each other.
Right.
For the longest time.
Yep.
And then that's when they was like, oh no, free before 9. And then
Chirping.
Sprint was like, free before 7.
Yep.
And then Nextel was like, hey, Sprint, come on, we gonna combine.
Right.
And they combined. And AT&T was like, wait a minute.
We'll do free all the time. And then right when AT&T did it, Verizon said, well, us too then.
Verizon said, well, our service strong, so
right.
no,
Verizon came out with the.
Pay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, good.
Oh, actually, no. I think before AT&T went singular did. That was when they were split.
Yeah.
They split. They were split at that point though.
Verizon said, bump this.
When AT&T and Singular merged, I think that's when they did free all the time. And then Verizon, of course, because their biggest competitor was them.
Yep.
Still to this day, their biggest competitor is them.
Remember,
Shout
they was
out
like,
to
oh,
Atlantic,
on the
isn't that
train.
where they all split from? Yep.
On the train, that Bama said, can you hear me now? Everybody said, what?
Right.
On the metro?
It
All right. Switch it up. Like, it was a
was
whole
the
thing.
elevator that got me, because I'm like, you dropped all calls in the elevator.
It was my concrete dorm that solidified me and my best friend's friendship. Because we were the only two people that had Verizon. Everybody else was struggling. We were like, I hear you too. What's
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I had T-Mobile. They're better now, but they was some garbage
They
there.
was trash.
I was on
I had
a fixed income.
I went through 5 razors.
Ooh.
Oh,
They were.
boy.
I remember them. They came out. They were
Because they
thin.
kept crying.
They were thin and
Like,
they kept crying, or you dropped them. They were done.
No, it wasn't even like literally all 5 of my razors. I had to send back because the inside was fried.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
I had 2 that fried, and then one I dropped, but I caught it, and they were really fragile.
They're really fragile.
So if you catch it with some force,
and crack. There's somebody else. A couple other phones had, because Samsung had a phone that was frying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LG had one.
LG was the reason why I didn't want a touchscreen for the longest time. LG's first touchscreens were garbage.
Okay, so but back to this topic. So then, long distance relationships.
I'm gonna say no, especially if you slept with that person.
Okay.
If you done a fly out.
You get flowed out.
If you done a fly out, if somebody has flown out to you, we all do something. Eventually, you're going to think what happens when that person gets back. Are they still faithful to you? And it brings into a whole bunch of problems and situations.
Question.
And I ain't got the time to deal with something that's 750 miles away when I got 2 kids that's looking at me every day.
I got you. It also depends on the actual relationship too. And
I think COVID put a lot to those to the test.
Yes.
Because I know I have coworkers who, one of my coworkers, her boyfriend's in Ireland. Another one, her fiance was in India. Like, because my job, like, we did international travel, so that's simple enough. COVID, I know a lot of people who had long distance. It's different when you like, yo, I can't afford it, versus everybody's country said you shall not leave.
Right.
For 2 years. And I know it was people getting. I just had a talk with somebody who was Bengali, and she and her husband got married on Zoom. And they just they did their actual together.
Wow.
Like, this had to be like 3 months ago.
Wow.
So I think COVID put a lot of long distance relationships to the test.
COVID put a lot of
Relationships.
in-house relationships to the
Period.
test. Because you know how many people got divorced when they realized I gotta be in the house with this sucker 24/7 all day long. You getting on my nerves. I can't go nowhere. Oh yeah, I can't do this. I'm out. Like
Look, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. One of my coworkers is in jail. Let's just say he couldn't take the pressure of being at home with his family.
that's crazy.
But there are a lot of people like that.
Well,
Abuse rates increase. Anyway,
yep.
we are digressing. Those
Major
are wines
rates.
for a different time.
Yup.
So wine number 3 is the Empress Buttery Chardonnay.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
By Prophecy, and originally this ain't really popping grapes for us. We've had this, but Michelle gave this a 4. I'm going to have to agree. I really actually I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 because I actually really like this, and I don't care for Chardonnay.
You don't like Chardonnay.
It's not dry.
It's not.
It's an off dry, and it's awesome. That's it. That's all I got, guys.
I'm close to giving it a 5. I think I'm gonna stick with the 4.5. I don't like Chardonnay. I can't stand it. I've tried several different, and I have given almost all of them a 1 or 2. This one did not have that dry taste, and it actually has flavor, and I can taste the buttery taste in it. It's pretty good. It actually surprised me. And I don't like Chardonnay.
It's balanced by refreshing notes of rich pear, tropical fruit, spiced apple, and creamy vanilla with just a dash of oak.
Spiced
That's the
apple.
oak.
Interesting.
The
Yeah,
vanilla is what gives it
taste
that
it.
sweetness.
Yeah.
That's what does that buttery.
It was good. I liked it. I give it.
Because I'm the same way. I don't really dig Chardonnay.
Yeah, I don't like Chardonnay. This is good.
That's
I'm going to put it at 4.5. I have to leave room for the
Oh,
ultimate.
right,
yeah.
for the ultimate, yeah. But no, I love that Chardonnay. That's why the bottle's almost gone.
Listen, I bought a bottle.
No, hold
This
on.
is how I know
I'm
that I
like,
love this Chardonnay, because I don't just, other than when we did Chardonnay May, y'all, I don't really buy Chardonnay. And we did Chardonnay May because, Chardonnay Day is in May. But also because, sometimes it's just nice to be able to identify. And it's our little, we do faux sommelier things and teach ourselves so that if we can taste it, I can be like, ooh, that's a Chardonnay. Off rip. Ooh, that's a Riesling. Off rip. So it's easier to do that when you're tasting Chardonnays from a bunch of different brands because there's one common thread. This thing here, listen, was something that we had a while ago. The husband brought it out for her, and I was like, ooh, can we taste it? I remember we tasted it, and I said, oh, okay. I bought a bottle. I don't buy Chardonnay unless I really have to. So this is how I know this is
I like this.
the Empress, and it's called the Empress.
That's why I said, and it's so fitting.
I kind of figured it was going to be good because I had to run in the house and get the wines, and she was like, don't touch the Chardonnay.
He's like, I said, get all the profit, not
The
the Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Straight like that, he said, so all of them except the Chardonnay. Right, however you want to say it.
So I actually got a little
My
excited to
Chardonnay better
taste it.
stay in it. That's what I
That's what I
got.
got. Fourth wine, fourth question. I will
It's on you.
choose the Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Is it
Yep, that's it.
Yes, that one. And Michelle's going to do the question.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, well, I'll pick this one because it's the last one on this white paper. The white paper. Can you read it?
I mean, you staring at it. I just want to make sure.
Oh.
Oh, God.
It's one of those.
Oh, boy.
When switching positions.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
God, we can never have something like God. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, yep.
Mama said it be days like this.
Does he stay in or does he slip out?
That depends on the position.
That's what I was going to say, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Because-
I'm done. I'm not
Yep.
doing anything else.
I think we're 3 for 3 on that.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh.
We don't even need to elaborate. We just
Yep.
going to leave that there.
Yep. Yep.
So 3, it depends, and somebody over here is supposedly never switched
Doesn't
the
know.
position, so she doesn't know.
Nope, I don't know.
Yep.
And there it is. That was fast. Let's taste this wine.
That's why we're not ready. I said, oh.
Okay. So this right here is the Sauvignon Blanc, aka the High Priestess. It's New Zealand. Okay. New Zealand's region, Marlborough region. Notes of grapefruit, Liche, please don't give me the line. And Meyer lemon offer crisp citrus refreshment complemented by aromas of fresh cut grass and cool sea air.
Did I
Put
buy
that
that?
back.
Did I buy that?
You did.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, I
And
said
they had 3 there, And it was this. It was, what was it? This, the red blend?
And something else. Yeah, it's fine.
No. It was a rosé there. That's what it was. And if I had known the rosé was actually good, I probably would
I
have
said
got
just grab
that.
something that wasn't red.
Yep.
Those were my stipulations. So
Yep.
I originally gave this a 2.5. It doesn't hold well. I'm not a Sauvignon Blanc person, and now I taste more of the grapefruit. I don't care for that. The husband will probably love this stuff.
He might
Okay.
just leave it here for him.
So I might, yeah, I am gonna leave this here.
I am going to tell you, the Sauvignon Blanc is the husband's favorite.
He can have it.
I knew it. Let me tell y'all. If y'all haven't seen, and there's gonna be a link above. If y'all haven't seen, oh, it has an air jet.
No.
Gotta wait.
It will by this point. When it comes, watch the Solomon's Island trip. We had a great time, and it made me think of that because there was a Sauvignon Blanc there, and the husband turned to me and was like, "What do you think?" And then Michelle, well, wait a minute. He's like, no, because our palates, me and the husband, are similar.
Very similar.
And I understand more where we differ. I understand why, because there was another Sauvignon Blanc there that was so grapefruit, and I was like, I hate this. You'll love it, and he did. So this is why I'm looking at this, and in tasting now, I definitely taste the grapefruit and the citrus and everything else that I hate in a wine. And I'm like, he would love this. It's not god awful for a Sauvignon Blanc.
No, it's not.
It's true to
It's
a
a
Sauvignon
true,
Blanc.
right.
But to me, I'm gonna have to get this a 2. I tasted it and I said, oh, that grapefruit
This is a
right
3
there.
for me. Because the husband likes it so much, we probably have a bottle sitting over there on the side, honestly, that's halfway gone. This is his wine. I drink it quite often since being introduced to this brand. Because he likes it. I enjoy it. I do not like grapefruit. My husband and my father are two of the people who love grapefruit juice that I know in my life. Like, they will go to the store and get grapefruit juice, and that is trifling. But
My mom does too.
But he loves this wine, and for me,
Well, he can have it. We will leave it.
Baby, you got a wine.
You got a whole one.
I
Hello,
enjoy
ladies.
it for what it is. Like, I think it's cool. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. It's not the worst that I've had. It's not the best. Yeah, because I've had some bad Sauvignon Blanc, so I go, oh, that's just nasty. But it is heavy on the grapefruit, and then that citrus aftertaste. It hits. It really does hit. I feel like with this, you have to eat something.
Yes, I'll give it a 2. I'll stick to my 2.5. But I agree, it's heavy on that grapefruit, fellas.
I feel like, so speaking of that wine festival we went to, I think I had that Sauvignon Blanc, and it was good. It was actually good. The one that was there was but that one was good to me. I don't know if this one is maybe
It maybe had more citrus.
It's the aftertaste. It's the aftertaste that got me.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much of an aftertaste. I don't mind grapefruit, but even grapefruit's aftertaste didn't last. It's still there.
I think it's the.
It's still there.
It's
I think I need something to
citrus.
eat with it. Yeah. So
I think it's high citrus.
I'm gonna have to give it a 2. And that's only because the one that was there was actually decent. I probably would have given that a 3 or 3.5.
Okay.
I'm not a big Sauvignon Blanc drinker. I do prefer reds, so I'm already biased anyway. But if I had to compare it to the Chardonnay, I probably would give it 1. So we'll just put it there. I'm gonna stick with the 2 and leave it there.
Okay.
W.
1.5. Because I taste the grapefruit. I smell the grapefruit. And
All things
unfortunately, I also smell the fresh cut grass. That bothers me.
That bothers. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's that smell that's there.
That bothers me.
Yeah, he said
As
that
a
bothers.
former landscaper, it's just
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's
my
I don't
husband
want to drink
does.
that. Don't want to drink that.
Yeah, that's what my husband does. He's a landscaper.
I'm good.
So we have one question. We have 2 wine. We have 1 wine type technically. So we have one question left. So we're gonna do the question, and we had the same wine. It's the red blend. One is a 2017, and the other is a 2018.
So we're gonna try both of them.
We're gonna
We
try
are going
both
to try
of them.
both. In comparison to one another. And we thought we had the same thing literally until like the end of the episode when she was like, yeah, I have a 2018. I was like, wait, mine say 2017.
So we're not sure if age of a year is gonna make that big a
So
difference. Usually
we're
it's
gonna try.
5 plus make a difference, but we'll see.
But
So
we
we're only gonna do one question though.
We only do
don't
one
know one
question.
question.
Because technically we only have 5 wines. technically.
Right.
5
technically.
types of wine.
5 types of wine.
So one last question.
So what we're
So
gonna
we will let the guests choose our new one.
and I'm gonna pour the 2017. I would recommend everybody kind of rinsing your glass if you have.
And it's also good we could save the red for last.
Yes.
Somebody wrote a paragraph.
Book report.
This is my question.
Oh, so he wrote
Oh, okay.
And I was hoping that this one would get picked. So
Ah!
I don't want to start no fights.
it. You ain't gonna start no fight.
Okay. I'm interested already.
So before I read this question, I'll do something I'm pretty sure y'all haven't done. I will give you all a toast. Thank you all very much for having me on.
Oh, yeah, we do that.
You do that at the end, but welcome.
Oh, if y'all didn't know, this is a real close friend of mine. David's real close friend. Almost on brother status.
My brother right there.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so
Okay.
what's the question?
So,
Oh Lord. If you find a random message on your significant or insignificant other on their phone and you don't know the person, what is your first reaction?
Depends on the content of the message.
Yep.
being married for 7 years, I don't even have a password to my husband's phone because I don't want it.
May I ask why? Or is it because you trust him 100%?
No, it's because I'm an overthinker.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm an overthinker, I know myself, I overthink literally everything. Like even about myself, I overthink everything. To the point where he goes, okay, I need you to come back. Like, where did you get that from? Like, they know. Like, okay, pull it back.
Well,
Like, so, but this is me knowing myself. So because of that,
Mm-hmm.
before I create something stupid, or even find, because I believe when it's not in the dark, it's going to come to light. And the way I know and I trust my God, he going to let me know what's what, period. So it's that. Even if it's years from now, he going to say, hey, I need you to know this now.
Mm-hmm.
He does it with my child that's sitting over there who she still can't get through her head that, hey, I got a friend that watches you all the time. And he lets me know, hey, go check on your kid. So because I have that trust in him, it allowed, I know if something's done, it's going to come out too. People not like real secretive. People like to go, ooh, and the drama. So it's going to come out if something is that. But because of that, and the way my brain works, I got enough stuff. I got an imagination of my own that I have to tame. So before I give myself a gateway down the spiral, down this whole black hole, I'm not doing that. If you don't know what you got, I will tell, hey, my husband knows this, I will tell him, if you can find somebody else that do what I do and better, I guarantee you I will hand the keys over without any questions. Hands down.
I feel that last statement. But to me, it depends
That's
on
real talk.
It depends on the content of the message. But the end result of that is the same thing. Because I'm gonna look and figure out, first of all, let's say something inappropriate, because I think that's what you're going with. Let's say something inappropriate. Now I'm going to ask you, because I have the password to his phone.
no. My phone's actually right there.
It is, I'm looking at it. Having the password to his phone is also why somebody's gonna get their butt kicked. But anyway, but it's not for inappropriate toward him.
Yeah, no, not on me.
It was
I
inappropriate
think I
directed.
know,
It
but
was
I'm-
directed toward me. So
I think I know, but we ain't gonna discuss that.
Right.
Pokeberry, you gonna get what you're looking for. Not gonna never do it long enough. Somebody gonna answer. So I will say, for me, it depends on the content of the message. Then my significant other, whether it's him or somebody else, we're gonna have a conversation. There's going to be, then this person is inappropriate and an action needs to be taken. Now that action is or is not taken, or if the results of the action are not satisfactory to me, well then, as my sister illustriously said, I'm out. Because if you can find, then that means she's better. This person is better, so go. Be free. There's a reason that at 6 months he's my second longest relationship, and my longest is only 9. I don't keep foolishness. and I don't waste time. Mine are other people. So if I don't see a future, then I'm out. So if you're doing things that tell me you don't see a future with me, I'm out as well. I'm not going to waste my time, nor my effort, energy, love, money, any of these things that I think a lot of men think only pertain to them, especially when it comes to like money and such. We women have to go out here and earn our money too. The days of being a kept woman don't exist. And if we want to get technical, for the Black American woman, never did. Never did.
Yeah, because our grandparents was going to work, both the mama and the daddy.
Our great-grands. Our great-great-grands. You want to go back to slavery? While the weight was different, while black men had to pick, was like 45 pounds a day, black women had to pick like 35. It was still work. We're not doing this, honey. We're not going to play this game. This thing that people have in their head of what a man and woman and positions and all this stuff should be doesn't completely apply to our culture.
Correct.
It doesn't. Sorry. Fact. It doesn't. So, to me, do you, though? If you feel that you can find better or that this person is better, then be about your merry way. I am not of the mindset that a man makes me, nor am I of the mindset that a man breaks me. I'm gonna stand on my own. I came naked and alone. I came into this world. Hopefully not naked, but alone I shall.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Don't put no clothes on me. Just put a cover over top of my neck. Staple it to my body.
Yes, but even if I were to leave this world naked, guess what? The God who made me saw me when I came in and will saw me when I leave.
I plan to be somewhat cremated anyway, so
yeah. So what?
Put me in there naked anyway. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The clothes gonna burn.
Yeah.
But that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, I would have to say, number one, I don't check her phone, and I have access to her phone. She doesn't have code on the phone. I can pick it up and go with it as
I gave
feel.
him my phone.
And yeah, she actually
I
gave me her
handed
phone.
him my phone.
I was
To get
working
out
a
of Spanish,
nighttime
put
job.
it back in English.
Not Spanish though.
Yeah. But I mean, even in Spanish,
This ever
I
has
was
sent me
at it.
messages and I'd be like, you left it on Spanish.
Right, even in Spanish,
I
I was at it.
can't read.
And it's only because I'm getting used to it now. She'll send stuff, and I'm like, you realize you sent this whole text in Spanish? Fine, let me respond back in Spanish. But please, But she gave me her phone one night. I worked overnight, and my service didn't work where I was working at, so she just gave me. I can't remember what happened.
His phone blew up, and we went, and I was like, "You need a phone more than I do."
Yeah, so she
because
just gave
you
me her
got
phone.
Kids.
She gave me her phone, and
I
pretty
took
much
everything,
if
blocked
I wanted,
off of it, took language, put it back in English, said, "Here you go."
and even right now, if I say, "Can I see your phone?" She just hand me the phone. My thing is this: I don't go to read anything because I was always told if you look for trouble, you find it. Now here's the thing: the trouble that you find isn't always trouble, but you can perceive it, or you can make it to be that. I know dudes, so I know dudes say slick stuff all the time, and they don't mean nothing by it. Most don't. Some do. Like if I had a chance. And if you don't say anything, they don't say it again. Or they might say it in 2 weeks or whatever. These are just dudes. It's just side stuff. I don't read stuff because if you're looking for it, again, you'll find it. So I'm like, I know my mind. I definitely overthink. She can tell you I overthink. My mind, once it goes there, 1,000 miles a minute. And I'm there, and I'm stuck there. I will think of every... Dr. Strange, shout out to you. Because I will think of every possible scenario that this means right here. And it could have just simply meant, I found my key. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up?
Did you make
what's
it
up
home?
with what?
Why
What do
he
you
care
mean
if
what's
you
up?
made it
Why
home?
this person say what's up? Did you just come from his house? What's going on?
Like-
That's his cologne I smell. You'll make what's up into more than just... Right. More than just what's up.
Why is it so pronounced?
Why they sent 4 emojis?
So my thing is, if you're looking for
you need
something,
one.
if you're looking for something, you'll find it. If something just pops on the screen and it's got somebody's name, hey, somebody texting you. Why? Because number one, text has no depth.
It also has no tone.
It has no tone.
That's
and
what
no
get people
depth.
in trouble.
And that's what Lorraine told me.
Key and Peele, man. If you haven't seen that,
That's what
skit,
Lorraine
it's
told
amazing.
me.
Right,
That's what
right.
Lorraine
I
told
mean,
me.
my
She
thing
was
is
like,
this.
look, you have to really, when you send a text, it could be perceived as one way. It could be perceived as something cool. You may send a word or something like that, and you may misconstrue the entire thing.
Right, it's not written like a
The
script.
entire
F you in my furious tone
Right.
because I just found that you broke my Walkman or something. You know what I mean? Like it just Walkman. Really, I went to Walkman.
Right.
But it has no tone. It has no depth. So it's just words. And this may be just a normal conversation for them. And I may look at this and be like, the world's ending, you know?
Now, some words do hold weight.
Yeah, there's some words.
If you text somebody if you text a life threat to somebody, that's what it is on surface.
But
That's
plus
it.
you have to look at the conversation before, because me and Dave can be joking on the phone and he'd be like, yeah, just like that time you decided to take a step and slid down the stairs, and I might be like, F you. It ain't real. It's just along with the joke that he hit me with.
Right, but I think that's why when we talk about intentionality and vocabulary, that's important too.
Yeah,
if text hasn't taught us anything, it has taught us to be intentional on the words that we use and the way that we say it, which is why people say all caps. It means you're shouting. When people say, like, people will now, because they don't want to get the tone misconstrued,
Emojis.
they will send an emoji. They will use different terminology for that thing. But I mean, even to that same note of what my kids know my password to my phone.
Right.
My church dance members know the password to my phone. One, because it's so simple. Two, because in it. Like, that's the other part. I don't care. I care about my phone, but I don't care about it enough. So when we just went out the other day, we got in the car, drove across the bridge, and I said, oh crap, I don't have my phone. Oh well.
The only reason I care about my phone is because of the personal stuff that's on it. As far as like, I mean, you have to know to get it, but yeah, like, because there's certain apps that are downloaded on your phone that say things about you.
Yeah.
But as far as like a text message or a phone call, do you?
There's a lock on my phone because of Google Pay.
Work.
Literally because of Google Pay, my email, and my bank account app.
You see,
I don't even want to take the
The
change.
bank account app is one thing, but Google Pay, even Apple Pay, nope. Y'all got a prepaid card and ain't nothing on that for that specific reason.
My phone has no lock on it because like my car, it is sacred. It is
That's
usually
your
with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got all my financial and my kids' pictures and stuff in there. I'm like,
And I don't have anything crazy or that I'm ashamed to show or whatever. So
And but I also think that's a stage of maturity that you get to. Like, you know, as you get older, you know, because younger, you first get it. It's a new toy. It's a new gadget. You know, ooh. But after a while,
and then once you have the ability to put like a password on it, you feel special. And I had a password on my phone for a long time. I took it off that day. I gave it to you, and I don't think I ever really put it back. And I also don't leave it like I used to, because if I would leave it somewhere, because if I was in church and I'd be running around,
right,
and I'm like, my phone might sit out, and if somebody happens to get it, I don't want them to have that easy of access to what's in it.
Right.
But at this point, it doesn't go anywhere without me. So we together.
Yeah, my kids don't use my phone.
They got their own.
Yeah, my thing is they have their own, and if they need to use my phone, you can call 911 without a password. It gives you that option at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just not a big. It's not a big deal for me. I think for that, it's just you have to know yourself. You know, if you know you have trust issues.
Right.
Look at the person that you're with, and if you really have to have that much, and you know that I'm not saying that people don't make mistakes, but know you and know the person that you're with. That's what I'm
true.
So this red blends,
we only tasted one.
we did the 17. Now we're gonna do the 18.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I don't need a whole lot because the red blends ain't really my
I like
Oh,
it.
sorry.
I actually like it.
Yeah, you like red.
Yep.
He likes blood. Then blood is
I find it funny that this one doesn't have like a thing on it.
Oh, what thing though? What thing?
Like it's two people kissing, but it doesn't have a name. Like High Priestess, the Star.
Oh,
Empress,
it's just
Goddess.
2018, 2017.
It's just red blend.
It's
It's
just
just
red
red
blend.
Oh wait, no, yes it does. Hold on.
Oh, no, it says the lovers.
The Lovers.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Red blend.
Am I
It's in
lying?
gold.
Yes.
It's in gold. So
It's
hard
very
to see.
faint.
It's
You
faint.
can't see it.
Oh. Okay.
The Lovers.
Okay.
I'm not in love with it, but I will say that I originally gave my version, which was the 18, a 3.5.
just go good with a steak.
You also gave it a
Would.
3.5.
To 17?
Lamb chops.
Yeah.
Just go good with it.
I
Which one
can't
did we
taste the
just
difference
have?
in a year, so my taste buds aren't
Which one
17.
did we just have?
This is the 18.
This is the 18.
This is the one I had.
18 definitely tastes better.
That was
I
my
was about
train
to
of
say.
thought.
Yeah.
I
I
was
think it
literally
tastes
going to
fresher.
say
Yeah.
the 18 to me, it hit different.
Yeah.
I agree with that actually.
It actually had a stronger
it
taste.
had a-
Yeah.
it-
Yep.
Yes.
The 17, when I tasted it, I was like, this is off a little bit, but it's not bad. And then I looked, I said, I gave it a 3. I said, I gave it a 3.5. I said, well, maybe I'll give it a 3 now. But I stand by the 3.5 with the 18.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at a 3.5 too. But yeah, I for me, I can the grape in itself, there's no major difference.
No.
But the acidity. Yep, that part. I taste more acidity in the 17 than I do the 18.
The 17 smells.
I don't smell anything with the 18.
I don't smell anything with the 18, but I just poured the 17 again. It smells different. Like that grapes that have been sitting kind of smell like it just has. It's not heavy, but
first red blend I've ever enjoyed.
Yeah, I actually like the 18 more than the 17.
I will say, I feel like you would find the 17 in a fancier restaurant
Because of age.
because of the age, and the 18, and that may be what we're tasting. The difference with us saying that the 18 tastes fresher, it may literally be the age of the grape. Also, for the 17. Also, remember, is this California?
These are from Italy. But that, I mean, one of them has New Zealand grapes. This one has... it doesn't say, so I'm going to... American red wine.
Okay, the one thing we...
California.
Modesto,
California.
Okay, one thing we do know also from year to year, depending on the temperatures and the weather, that can change the way the grape grows to the way that it's fermented and the taste being different. And I feel like with the 17, along with the aging, that may be part of it. Now, I am not an expert.
Nope.
I am not an expert. I know that might have sounded real like expertish. I just made up a word. But I'm not an expert. I'm just saying what I think.
So
and
I'm gonna
y'all gonna have to pardon me in a second because I'm getting ready to kick my daughter's behind if she doesn't turn around and do her work.
So if we average these, because I think that'll give us a good average for the red blend, I'm gonna stick with my 3.5 for the average, because even though the 17 to me is more a 3, I'm gonna be nice and stick with the 18 rating because we can't do. Well, actually, let's do 0.25s on this. So I give a 3.5 to the 18 and a 3 to the 17. So,
I concur.
Okay, so that's.
I concur.
Okay, so then, fellas.
I'm giving a 4 to
To
the
what?
18.
To the 18.
I like the taste in it. You know, I like red.
Okay, what are you giving the 17?
But it's a little less than that, so I guess 3.5. I give it 3.5.
Okay.
It's close, but
I
it's
can.
missing
I mean,
something.
I can average that, so that's fine. And sir,
I would actually give the 18 a 5.
Okay.
That's probably my most enjoyable.
and the 17.
Okay.
3.5.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
17 seemed like it was a little flat or something.
It's
missing
Yeah,
something.
it's
it
like
was-
it's.
It wasn't bad, but once I had 2018, you could tell the difference in the bite. It was a little, the flavor was a little.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
like
that's the
that.
one thing that we said in that episode that I was like, oh, now I'm curious because I want to taste the difference between even just the year.
That was
You know,
Juneteenth, right?
I think so.
And in just the year to see, how that plays a part in it. And I don't know, maybe 1 month that's what we'll do. Get the same brand, the same wine, just different years. That could be an adventure.
Okay, so our top 3, because we know you gotta go. We gotta wrap
Yep,
up.
yep,
We've
yep.
been here with y'all long enough. We're not gonna hold you anymore.
So, like,
hey, the husband, how you doing?
so
so
now
our
that our
top-
glasses
bro.
are empty,
Our top 3 wines.
you're gonna say
Oh,
cheers.
I'm sure it's so after the
I
top
thought
3,
we
right?
did the cheers before.
No, 'cause that's
It don't
all-
matter to me.
Okay, so our top 3. In third place, we have the Pinot Grigio,
And this is the one with the
star.
the star, and she is gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. In second place, we have the red blend.
Which one?
20.
We have no.
Just-
I-
Just
I
the red
average.
blend in general.
I average.
Okay.
it. So
Okay.
the red blend as a whole comes in second, which I'm actually surprised because I don't really care for red, but That's it. And our first place, which comes to no surprise to anybody, is our Buttery Chardonnay. As a whole, I will say that I like the Prophecy brand. I think it's a solid brand. It's a good brand. It sticks to what it says it's gonna be. The Chardonnay, it says it's gonna be buttery. It's buttery. It's not dry. It's off dry. The Pinot Grigio is what you would expect
From a Pinot.
From a good Pinot. The Sauvignon Blanc is what you would expect. I just don't like Sauvignon Blanc. The rosé is a strong rosé, and their red blend is actually awesome for a non-red. Y'all, if y'all have been here, y'all know I don't.
And we have not had their Cabernet. We have not had their Pinot Noir. So, overall, with what we have had, we're saying Prophecy is a solid brand. It definitely comes highly recommended by your hostesses here at A Little Something to Wine About.
And the guys.
And our guests. Obviously, we're not alone in this. So we would recommend if you're going to a party or something and you want to bring a bottle of wine, Prophecy is good.
Grab a Prophecy.
Grab a Prophecy. That's a solid choice for a brand. Also, it's a nice talk piece for the covers.
The artwork.
The artwork on each of these bottles is just exquisite. So
and the names give you things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing something for Valentine, you got the Lovers, you got High Priestess, the Star, the Empress, and Goddess of Fortune. Or what's on this table? Like she said, we don't have
the Cabernet or the Noir. So overall, great job, Prophecy. We definitely enjoyed it. And on that note, we will say, I like the double click.
That was a double click.
Hey, we could.
Put your glasses down.
That was black. That's awful.
Cheers to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you for joining us for this month's Wine Out Wine Tasting with the brand Prophecy. And we want to thank our guest, Le Boyfriend, and our new friend, Mr. Dave. Oh, like the Chipmunks. Dave. Are you in bed?
That's funny.
I also want to shout out Miss Kia who did these faux locks for me
Yes,
yesterday. They are slaying. I actually look nice today. I will send you pictures, madam.
Now I actually look nice.
I didn't look great when I went to the salon. I mean, who does? Like, I'm not doing a full face and being cute for a
I didn't look great before we started recording. I'm gonna just
So I want to shout out Miss Shamia for these locks. Her link is also her hashtag.
It's going to be below. You'll find the descriptions and the contacts for all of our guests. So if you want to stay in touch with any of them, just look in the description box below. Be sure to join us each and every Wednesday for a brand new topic. And of course, more laughs, more conversation, and more wine. More wine. Okay? And join us live next month on the last Saturday of the month. And as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.
toodles! Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for whining with us on this episode of A Little Something to Whine About. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to join us live the last Saturday of every month on YouTube or Instagram. And we'll see you next Wednesday for more fun, more laughs, and of course, more wine.